As you know, this course is put together by the CERTL Network, and one of the core ideas that informs the work of the CERTL Network is something called learning through diversity. There's actually two components to this. One is inclusive teaching, which we've talked a lot about this week. The other is leveraging diversity, actually using the diverse perspectives and backgrounds and experiences of your students as a strength in the classroom.
This can be really tricky to do, actually. So I teach in Wisconsin, which is in the upper Midwest in the United States. When I look out at the sea of students in front of me when I go into my classroom, I'm struck by how homogeneous it is. Wisconsin is mostly white. I have about 15% women in my class. I teach engineering. But there's a lot of diversity hidden within that group of homogeneous students that I can't see. And I struggle with identifying those dimensions of diversity, but I realize that drawing them out and actually using them in my classroom can really strengthen student learning. So one example of how I do that is at the beginning of the semester, like many professors, I give them a quiz or a survey to ask them about where they're from, maybe what their favorite song is, something about their family. And I study the responses to those questions really closely. And I'll actually make note of students that are from a particular region in the state where maybe they're from a very rural part of the state or from a farm, for example, which is really different from the students from Milwaukee, which is a big city. And I'll actually build into some of my case studies or my problem sets or even some of my short lectures examples from those particular regions of the state. So for example, if there's a mine in northern Wisconsin where there's a lot of pollution and we're going to talk about how to clean it up, then I might call on the student that's from that region of Wisconsin and ask them for help solving the problem. Now I won't point out that they're from that part of Wisconsin, but it draws them in and makes them feel like they're actually a part of the content of the course. And I find that this is really important to building the student motivation that we talked about earlier in a previous unit, but then also building that inclusive environment.
Mm-hmm. That's a really wonderful example, Trina. I like how it's a little subtle, but you're highlighting those perspectives that might not be visible when you walk in the classroom. I do something a little bit similar in some of my more applied math courses. I'll often have my students do an application project at the end of the semester where they take some of the mathematical content from the course and apply it to a problem of their choosing. And I try to give them a lot of autonomy in that, and many of them will pick problems that are relevant to them in some fashion, that connect to their personal interests, their professional interests. And so they're able to not only connect those interests to the math that we're studying, which I think helps with motivation, but also will end the course with a poster session where students share their work with each other so that I think their own perspectives and experiences and the problems that they pick because of that then enhance the learning experience for all the students in the course.
So this isn't just about the classroom, Derek. The employers who are hiring our students after they leave us have told us that they really value the skill sets that students have when they're able to work in diverse teams and to be able to leverage that diversity in the workplace. So we know that this is important for them after they leave us and go out into the real world. And so we think that this topic is so important that we actually have designed an entire module about learning through diversity in the sequel to this course. So make sure that you check it out.